Had a great lesson with Tony and his buddy Bob. Tony's 61 years old. He's got back problems, needs back surgery down the road. And you look, there's hardly any stride here. If you're throwing a ball, you wouldn't take a short step like that. And the other problem is because he has such a short stride, it doesn't allow him to get the good weight transfer, a good rotation, a good pull snap. The lead arm is buckled, and you have a tendency to try to look at how that lead arm is buckled. There's no connection to the rotation of the shoulders and hips, and you have a tendency to swing up a lot. Your average exit speed was 61 miles an hour, I think, with a 69 as a high at the start, which for a young guy in good shape like you aren't very good levels. And again, it all starts kind of with that wind. We need to wind like a baseball pitcher, reach our stride ahead, and you just don't have anything behind this swing. You're almost pushing your hands out and rolling over. Now, Greg Cannell is one of the top hitters in the game. Watch how he has an initial winds and unwind and really powers an arc. There's his first motion. That's his timing. And then he reaches the front foot ahead, and watch how he turns the foot open here to trigger the weight transfer and the unwind. He's pulling the weight off the back foot, and his front foot opens, and that triggers the unwind of the hips, a tight torque. And he turns his shoulders and his upper body, and his lead arm is going to be the guide and transfer the power. Watch how the lead arm is able to pull that around in an arc, and he powers all the way around. Watch the lead shoulder. Pulling the hands all the way around, the bat flies off into an axe snap, a little bit of extension there, and then you continue to power around, not rolling over till well after impact. If you roll over, you lose the swing. So here's our first drill, diagonal torque. We're trying to get the hips to open, and let's see how the shoulders open. You no longer dive into it. There's a wind. Now you reach ahead, start the weight transfer, turn the front foot open, and it's a good weight transfer. Again, we transition. We want to really throw that lead arm and power that lead arm in an arc, but down to where the point of impact would be, see? And watch how you continue to power around. Your rotation's pulling that hand around, you're not rolling over. As soon as you roll over, you disconnect from the hips. The heavy bag is great. There's rotation, there's a little bit of extension, but the lead hand follows the rotation around, and then the lead hand triggers that snap. Your top hand's working too, but again, the lead arm is the guide. Well, that's how he powers around. There's no lunging. That rotation of the shoulders pulling and powering that lead hand around. And look how there's not a rollover. Watch here. That's an axe snap. And only then afterwards does he roll over. And basically, he's hanging out of that bat. That bat would fly out in the outfield, and he lets it come out of the top hand late. So we wanted to work here on an angle down because you swung up so much. So then we put the low ball blast here. That point of contact's a little out ahead because you didn't step far enough, but look at there. That's much better. You proved that you could actually go at it. Now here, rotation and like a Roman salute, pull, snap, to impact, but you can watch your mostly arms on a lot of these. You're not powering around in that arc. Now watch here, we have the swing simulator. We swing over the top of the rope with an axe handle, but look at, you're rolling over there. See that? As soon as you roll over, you disconnect, and look at, you're not powering around like Cannell anymore. You just kind of roll over, and your hands take over, and your wrists take over, and you disconnect. Watch how his shoulders continue to pull in a tight arc. And only then, he's rolling over while he's pulling in a tight arc. Watch, you get here, the rotation slows, almost stops. When the wrists roll over, there's nothing left on the rotation. Yeah, you're still facing forward, hardly any rotation at all. Becomes just a hand swing, and makes you be a reach out for a point of impact farther out ahead. Look at it, watch how you're rolling. You're not, you get your hands out so far. It's not a defined stab and snap with the left wrist here. So on swing simulator, what's so good about that is look at that, that's better. Watch, you're keeping palm down. You're not rolling over. See. And you're powering around more. So it's a persistent, watch it, same as Cannell does right there. It's a pull, axe, snap into the ball, your lead arm is the guide. Nice wind. There's a rotation head, a little bit of an up angle. We want that knob to be driven at the ball. But here's the problem with you, it's partially back trouble. Well, look at his head, watch Cannell's head. He's powering around in an arc, it's all rotation and turn. And look at here, you reach ahead, head ahead, and your upper body continues to drift ahead, and you roll your wrists and you let your upper body watch. When you roll your wrists, your upper body just chases ahead with the wrists and everything else. If you had your front foot down and you were powering around in an arc, watch his head. It's still, you're powering that around with your rotation, pulling around with your rotation. And part of that is the rotation for you, and part of that is not rolling the wrist over. So here's afterwards. Much, much, much improved. You hit 84 miles an hour, and your average exit speed went from 61 to 73. And you're still leaving a lot on the table, but if you have a nice long stride, see, you're early there, and you're rolling up over the top. Watch, you should be making impact right there. That we talked about the point of contact off the tee, right there, see? And now instead you have to roll over to get into it, so, and then you're stepping in really far on a pitch that you shouldn't have to do that as much on. But again here, it's as you rotate here, and you're pulling, you're staying in axe style, making impact, you're rolling over there, and see how you lean ahead because you're not rotated anymore. You want to pull that all the way around until you're done. But you get better and better. You hit a ball, I think you'd hit one ball over a 275-foot fence. You said you hit the base of the fence at 300. And if you wouldn't have cut like those, that's watch, it's a level cut. Your point of contact is back. And watch, you power around, but you still, watch him power around here. Pull in a rotation with that lead arm. And you roll your wrist, and as soon as you roll your wrist, you lose it. So again, a key for you too is to make sure you have that long stride, rotate open, have a good launch angle. Here's your long stride. You reach your head a little bit farther. See that? There's your practice swing. But on your practice swing, look at you're rolling over. So you're no longer powering around in an arc. You're no longer pulling an X style around your wrist roll over. And then you can dive ahead and lean into it. So you have to really monitor that. Canal keeps that in the palm down position, and he keeps rotating and pulling it. So we got to the end. He had some great looking swings here. Look at that. Just so much improved. Again, we get to the end here. Is it perfect? No, right there is great, but you roll over and you buckle your left arm. Keep that lead arm straight. So you actually, after impact, you pull it out of your top hand and you continue to power on. But that's a beautiful looking swing. The stride's so much better. See, Canal keeps it straight, and he actually can power all the way around. But again, nice rhythm on the ba and then the boom. Look at that. Nice level cut. Is it perfect? Can you get a tighter rotation? Yes, but with your back problems, that's just a great job. See, when you do this drill here, you're supposed to power it around. Look, you just wristed it. You're just rolling it over. And that's supposed to, see, it's just a rollover. There's no body involved in it. Look at, watch his left hand and his upper body. You got to power that around in an arc. We do kind of a power frisbee throw as well, but right here, this is better. You get a better idea there. See how you continue to rotate around? And again, I appreciate, Tony, that you have a bad back. You're going to need surgery down the road, but it's more of as much of a technical issue as a physical issue. That's just awesome. And again, if you'd have kept that lead arm straight and continued to power, it'd have been about perfect. But just phenomenal. Great working with you, and we'll take a look at some of the few live swings. We worked on variable speed drills where we did live swings at 25, 50, 75, and 90%. And that allowed you to really work on the technique and then go faster and faster until you just turned it into a too fast to analyze swing. Absolutely awesome.
26 miles per hour.
Good shot. Woo! Wow, what was that?
79.
80 miles an hour there. 95%.
That's 82.
Last one. Full ba-boom. Pull through the bottom of it. Look at that go. That's going to go a long ways. Look at that.
Way to go.
Yeah. The ba for me, when I do it properly, calms me down a little bit. It lets me kind of think about the next step, and so that was beneficial.
And you tend to rush that a little bit anyway, Tony, that ba.
Yeah.
You know, ba-boom!
Yes. I love this one, 28 ounce. Really good. Had a really good feel to it.
And you guys came in, all the young guys are telling you what to, or all the guys back home in your league are telling you how heavy to swing. What do they say?
They're saying swing 26 or
Like
25.
26 is what I swing at home.
You're telling us we should be swinging heavier.
Well, what do you guys think after being here 3 days?
A little heavier.
Yeah, heavier. I like the heavier.
And really, if your hips are working good and you're really getting a good rotational pull snap, do you even feel the weight of the bat?
No.
That's why some of your best swings, when we're doing the variable speed drills, what do you think, Tony, your best level is of making consistency and power?
Maybe 50%. I don't know.
Yeah, because you're in balance more, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.